The garage smells like every auto shop in America. Motor oil, brake fluid, air freshener attempting to mask decades of accumulated grease, old coffee and new tires, and the particular scent of honest work done by calloused hands. Marcus Cole stands beneath a 2015 Ford F-150. The truck looms on the hydraulic lift 3 feet above his head. Transmission fluid drips onto the oil pan he positioned to catch it. Drip, drip, drip. 35 years old, 6'2", the kind of build that comes from functional strength rather than gym vanity, dark skin, close-cropped hair going gray at the temples, eyes that see everything and reveal nothing. His diagnostic computer shows the problem. Transmission bands worn, slipping in third gear. The fix is straightforward but expensive. $1,400 in parts. 4 hours of labor at $85 per hour. Total repair cost, $1,840. The customer will not like this number. They never do. Marcus wipes his hands on a red shop rag already stained rainbow with automotive fluids. Each stain tells a story. Each repair a problem solved. Each customer a person trying to keep their vehicle running in a city where public transportation fails and used cars cost more than most people have saved. The customer arrives at 7:15. White male, early 50s, expensive suit, BMW parked outside. The kind of man who owns the F-150 for weekend projects and status, not for actual work. Well, the voice carries impatience, entitlement, the assumption that his time matters more than everyone else's. Marcus walks to the computer, pulls up the diagnostic report, professional, methodical. Transmission bands are worn, slipping between second and third gear. Eventually it will fail completely, leave you stranded. How much? $1,800, parts and labor. The customer's face reddens. A vein pulses at his temple. That's robbery. Marcus remains calm, voice level, professional. The tone he learned in the Navy when dealing with officers who outranked him but knew less. Industry standard rate. I can show you the parts catalog, the labor time guide. Everything is documented. I'll bet it is. You people always find a way to squeeze more money out of honest customers. The phrase hangs in the air, you people. Marcus knows what that means. Has heard variations his whole life. In better neighborhoods when he was a kid. In recruitment offices when he joined the Navy. At MIT when professors assumed he was there on affirmative action rather than a perfect SAT score and 4 GPA. You people. He lets it slide, responds only to the business matter at hand, the way his mother taught him, pick your battles, save your energy for wars worth fighting. Sir, your transmission needs repair. I did not break it. I am just telling you what is wrong and what it costs to fix. I want a second opinion. That is your right. The customer grabs his keys from the counter, storms toward the door, stops, turns back for a parting shot. You know what your problem is. You think you can charge whatever you want because people need their cars, but there are other shops, honest shops. Marcus says nothing. Has learned that silence often speaks louder than words. That dignified restraint defeats petty insults better than clever comebacks. The customer leaves. The door slams. The bell above it jingles violently. Silence fills the garage. Tony Marcetti emerges from the office. 62 years old, Italian-American, thinning gray hair, former Army mechanic from the First Gulf War, owns Quick Fix Auto, employs 4 mechanics, barely breaks even most months. Marcus, you gotta learn to upsell these rich ones. They can afford it. I quoted him fair price Tony. Fair don't pay the rent. We are 3 months behind. Marcus knows this, sees the past due notices scattered on Tony's desk through the office window, hears the stress in his boss's voice during phone calls with creditors. I do not overcharge people, not my style. Tony sighs, runs a hand through what remains of his hair, the gesture of a man drowning slowly in debt and paperwork. Your style is gonna put us both out of business, but I respect it, even if I do not understand it. He walks back to the office, leaves Marcus alone with the F-150 and the moral weight of integrity in a world that rewards corner cutting. Marcus returns to the truck, continues the diagnostic, documents everything, takes photographs, prepares the estimate the customer will never accept. Because that is what honor looks like, even when no one is watching, especially then. Marcus's apartment sits in a complex built in 1987, tan siding faded by decades of Detroit weather, cracked parking lot with potholes deep enough to swallow small cars, chain link fence separating the property from the street. Rent is $750 per month, utilities not included. He parks the Civic in spot 2B, the same spot for 3 years, since everything changed, since the hospital bills arrived, since his old life ended and this new existence began. The apartment is small, 1 bedroom, Maya sleeps there. Marcus takes the couch. He tells her it is temporary, that they will upgrade soon, that daddy is saving money. She believes him because 7-year-olds believe their fathers, even when their fathers lie with the best intentions. Inside, Marcus sets his keys on the counter, checks the mail he grabbed from the box downstairs. 3 envelopes, all with windows, all bills. Detroit Medical Center, past due balance $4,200. Consumer Credit Solutions, final notice $1,850. Michigan Collections Agency, your account has been forwarded for legal action, $890. Total debt visible on this counter alone, $6,940. He stacks them on the kitchen table, adds them to the existing pile. The pile grows taller each week, a paper monument to medical debt and the American healthcare system that profits from suffering. His wallet contains $43 until Friday's paycheck. Bank account shows $287. Rent due in 6 days, $750. The math does not work, has not worked for 3 years, since Keisha got sick, since stage 4 pancreatic cancer turned their lives into a countdown, since chemotherapy failed and radiation failed and experimental treatments cost $30,000 not covered by insurance, since they chose trying to save her over financial stability, since love proved more expensive than they could afford. On the refrigerator, a photograph held by a magnet shaped like Michigan. Keisha, healthy, laughing, before the diagnosis, before her skin turned yellow from failing organs, before morphine became the only mercy available. Marcus does not look at the photo. Cannot, not tonight. The wound still too fresh even 3 years later. In the kitchen he begins cooking, spaghetti, the cheap kind, 69 cents per box, tomato sauce from a can, 99 cents, garlic bread made from day-old white bread and margarine mixed with garlic powder. Total meal cost, $3.12, feeds 2 people, leaves leftovers for tomorrow's lunch. This is survival math, the kind they do not teach at MIT. The kind Marcus learned after his wife died and life insurance paid for the funeral but nothing else. Maya sits at the small kitchen table, homework spread before her, 2nd grade mathematics, addition and subtraction. She chews her pencil, concentrates hard. Her tongue sticks out slightly when she focuses. The same habit Keisha had. Daddy, why do we eat spaghetti so much? Marcus stirs the sauce, does not turn around, keeps his voice light, casual. Because it is your favorite. It is okay, but Mia's family has tacos on Tuesdays and pizza on Fridays. They have special dinners. Each word a small knife, not meant to hurt but cutting nonetheless. Marcus keeps stirring, breathes through the guilt. How about we do Taco Tuesday next week? Maya's face lights up, pure joy from such a simple promise. Really? I promise. He glances at his wallet on the counter. $43. Taco ingredients cost maybe 15. He will make it work. He always makes it work. After dinner, they sit together on the sagging couch. Math homework completed, gold stars earned. Maya shows him her drawings from art class. A house, a tree, two stick figures holding hands. That is me and you, Daddy. It is beautiful, baby girl. Where is Mommy? The question stops time. Marcus pulls Maya close. Her small body fits perfectly against his chest, the way it has since she was born, the way it will until she grows up and does not need him anymore. Mommy is in heaven. I know, but do you think she can see us? Marcus thinks about Keisha in the hospital bed, the final days when consciousness came and went like waves, the moment she recognized him versus the moments morphine took her somewhere else. The last time she squeezed his hand before she stopped squeezing anything ever again. I think she sees us, and I think she is proud of you. Is she proud of you too? He hesitates, thinks about broken promises, about the MIT degree gathering dust, about the SEAL training he no longer uses, about the man he used to be versus the man barely surviving poverty. I hope so, baby girl, I hope so. Maya yawns. Bedtime approaches. The ritual never changes. Brush teeth, pick out tomorrow's clothes. One story, two if she asks nicely. Lights out by 8:30. Tonight she asks for two stories. He reads them both, makes the voices, does the sound effects, gives her these small moments of magic in a childhood constrained by scarcity. When her breathing steadies into sleep, Marcus returns to the living room, sits on the couch, stares at bills he cannot pay, at a future he cannot afford, at dreams deferred indefinitely. His phone buzzes, text message. Your student loan payment of $412 is past due. Failure to pay may result in wage garnishment. He deletes the message, has deleted 53 similar messages this month. MIT wants their money. The Navy gave him skills but no trust fund. Keisha's medical bills consumed everything. The American dream costs more than minimum wage plus tips. In the closet, hidden on the top shelf behind winter coats, sits a cardboard box. Marcus retrieves it, opens it carefully, reverently. Inside, his past life. Navy SEAL trident pin, gold and silver gleaming despite years in darkness. The eagle, the anchor, the pistol, the trident, the symbol of brotherhood forged in Hell Week and sustained through 8 years of combat. MIT diploma, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, graduated 2009, top 15% of his class, job offers from Boeing and Lockheed Martin and Tesla. He chose service instead, chose country over career, chose to be part of something larger than personal ambition. Photographs. Afghanistan 2016. Marcus in full tactical gear, plate carrier, rifle, beard grown for village operations, his team around him, brothers, some still breathing, some not. A medal citation. Bronze Star with Valor device. For actions under fire while dragging a wounded teammate through 300 yards of enemy territory. taking rounds from multiple directions, refusing to leave a brother behind. The teammate lived. Marcus received medal and a handshake, worth it, every time. Discharge papers, honorable, 2018, 8 years of service completed, left to care for Keisha during her cancer fight, to be present for Maya, to choose family over military career. No regrets about that choice, even now, even in poverty, even struggling. Family comes first, always. Marcus closes the box, returns it to the shelf, hides it behind coats they rarely need in Detroit's mild winters. Some lives end quietly. No parades, no recognition, just a man and his daughter and the weight of choices made for love instead of glory. He lies on the couch, tries to sleep, fails, stares at the ceiling, thinks about tomorrow, about bills, about Maya, about survival. About promises he made to Keisha in those final hospital days. Take care of our baby girl. Make sure she knows she is loved. Give her the life we dreamed about. He is keeping the first two promises. The third remains impossible. Dreams require money. Money requires opportunity. Opportunity requires privilege he never possessed. But he keeps trying, keeps fighting, keeps showing up. Because quitting means Maya loses both parents, and that is not acceptable. Not now, not ever. The Billionaire's World. Sterling Automotive Headquarters. 7:52 a.m. The building dominates the Detroit skyline. 42 floors, glass and steel and modern architecture designed to intimidate. The Sterling Automotive logo visible from 3 blocks away. Blue and silver, corporate, cold. Victoria Sterling's office occupies the entire northwest corner of the executive floor. Panoramic city views. Custom Italian desk that cost more than most cars. Herman Miller chair. Abstract art chosen by a designer who billed $80,000. Victoria does not care about the decor, cares only about results, numbers, performance, the metrics that determine corporate survival. She sits at her desk reviewing quarterly reports. Revenue down 8%, market share slipping to competitors, customer retention at 81%, down from 87 last quarter. Unacceptable. 32 years old, 5'8", dark hair pulled into a severe bun, minimal jewelry, navy suit that costs $3,000 but looks conservative, armor disguised as professional attire. Her father built Sterling Automotive from nothing. Started with a single auto parts store in 1987, grew it into a $2.3 billion empire, supplied components to every major manufacturer, employed 4,000 people across 6 states. Robert Sterling believed in quality over quarterly profits, integrity over shortcuts, treating employees like family rather than expenses. He died 6 months ago. Single car crash on Interstate 94, lost control, struck a barrier. The Mercedes he was driving became a funeral pyre. Police ruled it an accident, case closed, no investigation. Rich man dies in expensive car, these things happen, move on. But Victoria knows her father, knows he was too careful, too skilled. Drove that same route twice daily for 30 years, never had so much as a speeding ticket. Someone killed him, she is certain, cannot prove it, but certainty exists beyond evidence sometimes. The conference room fills at 8:55, board meeting scheduled for 9, 12 members, all men except Victoria, all over 50 except Victoria, all comfortable with the status quo except Victoria. She walks in at exactly 9 a.m. They stand when she enters. Performative respect masking resentment that a woman 30 years, their junior, inherited control of their company. Gentlemen, please sit. Victoria moves to the head of the table, her father's seat, now hers by blood and right and 51% voting shares. She does not waste time on pleasantries. Q3 revenue down 8%, margins compressed by 3.2%, customer retention at 81%, down from 87. Silence, uncomfortable shifting. These numbers are unacceptable. Gerald Thompson, VP of Marketing, clears his throat. 63 years old, 28 years with the company, comfortable salary, declining results. Victoria, market conditions are challenging for everyone. Market conditions are identical for our competitors, who are growing while we shrink. That suggests the problem is internal, not external. Thompson's face reddens. With respect, your father understood that building a brand takes time. My father also understood that failure has consequences. Gerald, you are terminated, effective immediately. HR will process your exit by end of day. The room freezes, shocked silent. Thompson sputters. You cannot just fire me without cause. I have cause: sustained underperformance, failure to adapt, resistance to accountability. Pack your office. Security will escort you out. Victoria's eyes sweep the room, daring anyone to object. No one does. Fear motivates faster than inspiration. Thompson storms out, slams the door. The remaining board members sit rigid, terrified, calculating whether they might be next. Richard Caldwell, Chief Financial Officer, breaks the silence. 58 years old, silver hair, expensive suit, the kind of man who looks trustworthy while emptying your wallet. Victoria, perhaps we should discuss personnel matters in executive session. No need, meeting adjourned. She walks out, leaves them scrambling, afraid, exactly as intended. That afternoon, Victoria's Mercedes S-Class refuses to start. She turns the key. Nothing. Dashboard lights flicker weakly. Engine remains silent. Her assistant hovers nearby, concerned, confused. Should I call a tow truck? Yes, please. 20 minutes later, a flatbed arrives. The driver checks under the hood, tests the battery, scratches his head. I can get it started, but you should have a mechanic look at this. Something is not right. Where is the nearest shop? Quick Fix Auto, 3 blocks east, family-owned, honest work. Tell Tony that Ray sent you. The Mercedes rides the flatbed to Quick Fix Auto. Victoria follows in her assistant's car, watching her vehicle being transported like cargo. The shop looks nothing like the dealership service center she normally uses. Concrete floor stained by decades of oil, fluorescent lights, tool chests covered in stickers, the smell of honest work and working-class struggle. A man emerges from beneath a pickup truck, wipes his hands on a red rag, walks toward her Mercedes with professional confidence. Marcus Cole, 35 years old, 6'2", muscular build hidden under a mechanic's uniform, dark skin, short hair, eyes that assess everything with tactical precision. He examines the Mercedes, methodical, thorough. His hands move with the certainty of deep expertise. After 3 minutes he stops, stands, looks directly at Victoria. Ma'am, this was not a mechanical failure. Excuse me. Someone sabotaged your vehicle, cut your brake line. This car was not safe to drive. Victoria's blood runs cold. The words sink in slowly. Someone tried to kill her. Are you certain? Marcus points into the engine bay. See this hydraulic line? Connects your brake pedal to the calipers. It has been severed. Clean cut, precision work. This was deliberate. Victoria stares at the cut line, sees what he sees. The evidence of attempted murder right there in her engine bay. Could it have been an accident, wear and tear? No, ma'am. Brake lines do not fail this way naturally. This was done with tools, by someone who knew exactly where to cut for maximum failure at speed. How do you know this? Marcus pauses, weighs how much to reveal. I have experience with vehicles, and with sabotage, military background. Victoria studies him, really looks, sees beyond the mechanic's uniform, the bearing, the competence, the way he stands like someone trained for violence. What branch? Navy. Doing what? Things I cannot discuss in detail, but I recognize professional work when I see it. Whoever did this has training. Victoria's mind races. 6 months ago her father died in a car crash ruled accidental. Now someone cuts her brake line. The pattern is obvious, terrifying. Can you prove this was sabotage? Document it. Already photographed everything. I can provide a written assessment. But ma'am, if someone is trying to kill you, you need police protection. I cannot trust the police. Marcus raises an eyebrow. Why not? Victoria hesitates, then decides. This man saved her from dying today. Perhaps saved her twice if the brake line had failed on the highway. She owes him honesty. My father died 6 months ago. Car crash on Interstate 94. Police ruled it an accident, but I think he was murdered, and I think whoever killed him is now trying to kill me. Marcus goes very still, processing, calculating, the tactical mind engaging. You need more than a mechanic, ma'am. You need security. Can you help me? I fix cars. I am not a bodyguard. But you were military, special operations. You understand tactics, threats, protection. Marcus glances at Tony through the office window, thinks about Maya, about rent due, about keeping his daughter safe. I have a daughter, 7 years old. I cannot put her at risk. I would never ask you to. I am asking for consultation, investigation. Help me understand who wants me dead and why. Marcus closes the hood of her Mercedes, wipes his hands, makes a decision. 24 hours, I will look into your father's crash, review whatever evidence exists, but I need full access, accident reports, his files, everything. Done. When can you start? Tonight, after my daughter goes to sleep. Give me your address, I will come pick up the files. Victoria hands him a business card, gold embossed, Sterling Automotive CEO. My personal number is on the back. Call when you are ready. Marcus pockets the card. One more thing, ma'am. Until we understand the threat, do not drive alone. Vary your routes. Tell no one where you are going. Basic counter surveillance. You sound like you have done this before. I have, in places much more dangerous than Detroit. Victoria wants to ask more, about his military service, about the man hidden beneath the mechanic's uniform, but a black Bentley Continental pulls into the parking lot. Richard Caldwell emerges, designer suit, Rolex watch, the picture of wealth and corporate power. He spots Victoria, walks over with practiced concern. Victoria, I heard about your car trouble. Is everything all right? Someone cut my brake line, Richard. His expression shifts, surprise, concern, too practiced, too perfect. My God, have you called the police? Not yet. I wanted documentation first. Caldwell notices Marcus. His eyes sweep over the uniform, the dirty hands, the man clearly from a different economic class. And this man is qualified to assess sabotage. Surely you need certified experts, not just, he stops himself. Not just what, Richard? Victoria's tone turns ice. I simply mean that for something this serious, you need professionals with credentials. Marcus remains silent, lets the insult hang, does not defend himself. Years of dealing with men like Caldwell taught him that engagement feeds their ego. Caldwell continues, I can have the dealership send their forensic team, people with actual expertise in automotive investigation. This man has expertise, military training, and he is the one who discovered the sabotage. I trust his assessment. Caldwell's jaw tightens slightly, barely visible, but Marcus catches it, the micro-expression of anger quickly suppressed. Of course, your decision, but Victoria, if someone is targeting you, we should discuss this privately, at the office. Go ahead without me, I will be there shortly. Victoria. That is an order, Richard. The power dynamic shifts visibly. Caldwell forces a smile, nods, returns to his Bentley, drives away. Leaves Victoria and Marcus alone in the garage. Silence stretches, then Victoria speaks quietly. Thank you for not responding to him. No need. Men like that want reactions. Denying them that is more effective than arguments. You seem to have experience with men like Richard. I have experience with people who believe their money makes them superior. They are wrong, but they never learn. Victoria studies this man who just saved her life and refused to be insulted in the same moment. Character in action, rare, valuable. What is your name? Marcus Cole. Thank you, Marcus, for finding the sabotage, for your discretion, for your help. You already thanked me, ma'am. Call me Victoria, and I suspect I will need to thank you many more times before this is over. Marcus nods. I will call you tonight. After Maya is asleep, we will review your father's files. I will be ready. He watches her assistant drive her away, then returns to the garage, to Tony's concerned questions, to the life of a mechanic who just agreed to hunt a killer. Above Detroit, clouds gather. The weather forecast predicts rain, but Marcus knows the real storm is just beginning. And this storm will be measured in blood, in truth, in justice, or in graves. Day 1 evening. The investigation begins. Marcus arrives at Victoria's penthouse at 9:47 p.m. Maya is asleep, his neighbor Mrs. Patterson watching her. He has 3 hours maximum before he needs to return home. The building towers over the Detroit River. Glass, steel, security so tight Marcus had to show ID 3 times just to reach the elevator. Victoria's world is fortified, protected, yet someone still got close enough to cut her brake line. Which means the threat comes from inside, someone with access, someone trusted. The elevator opens directly into her penthouse. No hallway, no neighbors, 23rd floor, 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, furniture that looks expensive because it is, art on walls that probably cost 6 figures. Victoria waits, changed from business suit to casual clothes, jeans, sweater, hair down, trying to look approachable, less intimidating. She succeeds, looks younger, more vulnerable, human instead of corporate. Thank you for coming. You said you have your father's files. She gestures to the dining table, covered in documents, folders, papers, evidence of a life documented in bureaucracy. Everything I removed from his office after the funeral. Police never looked at any of this, never asked, just ruled it an accident and closed the case. Marcus approaches the table, begins sorting, organizing, his tactical mind categorizing information. Tell me about your father, his habits, his concerns before he died. Victoria sits, pours coffee, hands Marcus a cup. He was careful, methodical, drove the same route to work every day for 30 years, never had an accident, not even close. What was he working on before he died? An internal audit, financial irregularities. He found discrepancies in offshore accounts. $67 million transferred over 5 years to shell companies. Marcus looks up. 67 million is not a discrepancy. That is systematic theft. Exactly. My father was going to present his findings to the SEC. He died the night before his scheduled meeting. Who knew about the meeting? The executive team, board members, his attorney. So approximately 15 people. Yes. Marcus pulls out his phone, opens a notes app, starts documenting. I need names, titles, how long they have been with the company, any financial pressures they might be experiencing. Victoria retrieves her laptop, pulls up employee records. For the next hour, they build a profile of potential suspects, motives, opportunities, means. Richard Caldwell's name appears repeatedly. CFO for 12 years. Salary $890,000 per year, but offshore accounts showing $14 million. No legitimate source for that wealth. Caldwell, Marcus says, not a question, a conclusion. I think so, but thinking is not proving. No, but it gives us a starting point. Marcus stands, walks to the window, looks out over Detroit. The city lights twinkling, beautiful and dangerous. I need to see the crash site, tomorrow morning before work. I will go with you. No, you need to maintain normal routine. Cannot let anyone know we are investigating. If Caldwell suspects we are closing in, he will either run or escalate. Escalate to what? Marcus turns, faces her, his expression serious. To ensuring you cannot testify permanently. The words land. Victoria goes pale, understands what he is saying. Someone already tried to kill her once. Failed attempts usually lead to better planning. What should I do? Act normal, go to work, have meetings, but trust no one, especially not Caldwell, and if anything feels wrong, call me immediately. He hands her a phone, different from the one she uses. Burner phone, untraceable. My number is programmed in. Use this for anything related to the investigation. Victoria takes the phone, holds it like a lifeline. Marcus, why are you helping me? You do not know me. I am just another stranger with problems. Marcus thinks about Keisha, about promises made in hospital rooms, about being unable to save the person he loved most, about second chances to make a difference. 3 years ago, my wife died, cancer. I could not save her, could not afford the treatments that might have worked, had to watch her fade while the system failed us both. Victoria's expression softens. I am so sorry. Your father did not have to die either. Someone chose to kill him. Then the system chose to call it an accident. Maybe I cannot fix broken systems, but I can stop one more preventable death. That is enough reason. Silence stretches between them. Two people from different worlds united by loss and the need for justice. Finally, Victoria speaks. There is a guest room. You are welcome to stay. Continue reviewing files. Save yourself the drive back and forth. I need to get home to Maya, but I will be back tomorrow night, after I visit the crash site. Be careful. Always am. Marcus gathers the files he needs. Accident report, insurance investigation, photographs. He will study them tonight after Maya is asleep. Build a picture of what happened that night 6 months ago. As he leaves, Victoria calls after him. Marcus. He turns. Thank you for believing me when no one else would. Sometimes the truth is not about evidence. It is about knowing what someone you love would or would not do. Your instincts about your father are correct. Trust them. Then he is gone, leaving Victoria alone in her expensive fortress, protected by walls but not from the danger walking the halls of her own company. Day 2 morning. Crash site analysis. Marcus stands at mile marker 215 on Interstate 94 at 5:30 a.m. Before sunrise, before traffic, before the world wakes and obscures evidence with noise. The crash site looks unremarkable now. 6 months have passed, but the scars remain for eyes trained to read violence. Concrete barrier bent inward, asphalt gouged, skid marks faded but visible, physical proof of Robert Sterling's final moments. Marcus kneels, places his palm on the road, feels the texture, closes his eyes, lets his mind reconstruct. Physics, geometry, the mathematics of death. The skid marks measure 68 feet. He paces them, counts, calculates speed at impact approximately 55 miles per hour, below highway limit, a man braking, trying to stop. Not speeding recklessly, not losing control from excessive speed, attempting to avoid something or someone. Marcus photographs everything, the barrier, the marks, the angles. His phone camera documents what police never bothered recording. Evidence ignored is evidence that can still speak. You just have to know how to listen. He examines the guardrail, metal bent at 42 degrees. He measures with a small protractor from his tool kit, confirms the angle, impact from the side, not head-on, not gradual drift. Sudden lateral force. Someone pushed Robert Sterling off this road. Marcus calls a number he has not dialed in 2 years. Jackson Williams, SEAL teammate, brother, the man who carried Marcus 3 miles through enemy territory after shrapnel tore through his leg. Marcus Cole, thought you fell off the planet. Close, just living in Detroit. That is basically the same thing. What do you need? Traffic camera footage. Interstate 94 near mile marker 215. October 12th last year, between 11 p.m. and midnight. Silence on the line. Jackson processing the request, understanding the implications. This is not official. No. Could get me in trouble. I know. Give me 2 hours. Appreciate it, Jack. We are family, Marcus. Family does not expire. The line goes dead. Marcus stands, looks at the crash site one final time, memorizes it. Robert Sterling died here, alone, burning, while traffic drove past and nobody stopped. That ends now. Someone will answer for this death. Someone will pay. Marcus drives to Quick Fix Auto, arrives at 6:45. Tony already there, looking stressed, worried. Marcus, we need to talk. Okay. That woman yesterday, the rich one with the Mercedes, she came back, wanted to hire you specifically, offered to pay triple your rate for private consulting work. Marcus says nothing, waits. I told her no, you work for me. But Marcus, we are 3 months behind on rent. Triple rate would save this shop. What are you asking, Tony? Take the job, whatever she wants, but do it on your own time, not during shop hours. I cannot afford to lose you. Marcus nods, understood. Good, now get to work. That Chevy Silverado needs brake pads. The day passes in routine. Oil changes, brake repairs, diagnostic work, the familiar rhythm of mechanical problem solving, but Marcus's mind stays elsewhere, on crash sites and brake lines and men who kill to hide theft. At 4:17 p.m. his phone buzzes. Encrypted file from Jackson. Traffic camera footage. 47 minutes of grainy surveillance. Marcus downloads it. We'll watch tonight after Maya sleeps. We'll see Robert Sterling's murder recorded in black and white pixels. Evidence the police never sought. Justice they never pursued. Day 2 evening. The truth revealed. Maya is asleep by 8:30. Mrs. Patterson has gone home. Marcus sits on his couch with laptop open, coffee beside him, prepared to witness murder. The footage begins at 11:39 p.m. October 12, 2023. Robert Sterling's Mercedes appears, driving normally, lane position steady, speed consistent with traffic. Then a black Escalade enters frame, following, closing distance, aggressive positioning. The Mercedes accelerates, attempts to create separation. The Escalade matches speed, pursues. At 11:47 p.m. the Escalade surges, strikes the Mercedes rear quarter panel. The textbook pit maneuver, police tactical driving, military training. Professional work. The Mercedes spins, loses control, strikes the barrier at 42 degrees, sparks, smoke, then flames. The Escalade does not stop, does not slow, drives past the wreckage like it never happened. For 3 frames the license plate is visible. Marcus pauses, zooms, enhances. Michigan commercial registration, fleet vehicle. He cross-references with Victoria's files. Sterling Automotive Company cars, executive pool access only. The Escalade that killed Robert Sterling belongs to his own company. Marcus calls Victoria on the burner phone. She answers immediately. I have the traffic camera footage. Your father was murdered, forced off the road by a company vehicle. Silence, then breathing, ragged, emotional. Who? That I cannot prove yet, but the vehicle was from the executive fleet, restricted access, C-suite employees only. Caldwell. Probably, but probably will not hold up in court. We need more. We need proof of motive. Financial records connecting him to the theft. Witness testimony. Something concrete. How do we get that? We make him nervous. Announce an internal audit. Full forensic accounting. Make him think we are closing in. Panicked people make mistakes. Victoria's voice hardens, transforms from grief to rage. When? Tomorrow's board meeting. You present the audit plan. Watch how he reacts. I will be there recording everything. As what? You are not an employee. Then hire me, security consultant, executive protection, whatever title gets me in that room. Done, starting tomorrow, you are director of personal security. No, make it something lower profile. Assistant, advisor. I need to be invisible, furniture. People talk more freely when they forget someone is listening. Security liaison, part-time. Helps me interface with building security on threat assessment. Perfect, send me the paperwork tonight. I will sign it. Marcus, if Caldwell realizes what we are doing, he will escalate, I know, which is why I need you to trust me. If things get dangerous, if he makes a move, I will handle it. However necessary. The weight of those words settles. Victoria understanding what Marcus is offering. Protection. By any means, including violence if required. Okay, I trust you. Get some sleep. Tomorrow we start the end game. Marcus hangs up, stares at the frozen frame on his laptop, the Escalade driving away from murder, Robert Sterling burning while his killer escaped. Not anymore. The hunter has become the hunted, and Marcus knows how to hunt, learned it in mountains of Afghanistan, perfected it in streets of Iraq. Richard Caldwell thinks he is safe, protected by wealth and position and corporate power. He is wrong, and tomorrow he begins learning exactly how wrong. Day 3 morning. The garage destroyed. Marcus arrives at Quick Fix Auto at 5:47 a.m., earlier than usual, wants to review the sterling automotive paperwork Victoria sent, prepare for the board meeting at 9. He unlocks the front door, steps inside, reaches for the light switch. Glass crunches under his boot. Marcus freezes, combat instincts flaring, hand hovering over the switch, eyes adjusting to darkness, breathing controlled. The garage has been destroyed. Tool chests overturned, drawers emptied, wrenches and sockets scattered like shrapnel, diagnostic computers smashed, screens shattered, the hydraulic lift damaged, fluid pooling. On the wall, spray paint, red, dripping, fresh enough to smell. Back off. Marcus does not move, processes, calculates. Whoever did this wanted him to find it, wanted the message clear, wanted intimidation. They will be disappointed. Fear is not something Marcus experiences anymore. Burned out years ago by combat and loss and watching his wife die slowly. What remains is focus, determination, the cold equation of tactical response. He photographs everything, the damage, the message, the evidence of desperation painted in red. Because this is what desperation looks like. Professional killers do not spray paint threats. They act quietly, efficiently, no warnings. This is amateur hour. Someone pretending to be dangerous while revealing they are afraid. Marcus knows afraid, knows how to exploit it. Tony arrives at 7:12, sees the destruction, goes pale. Jesus Christ, Marcus, what happened? Someone broke in last night. Vandalism. Vandalism. This is targeted. This is about you. What are you involved in? Marcus considers how much to reveal, decides on partial truth. I am helping someone investigate a crime. Wrong people noticed. Tony's fear transforms to anger, voice rising. You brought this to my shop, my business. Do you have any idea what this will cost to fix? I will help. Help with what money, Marcus? You are barely scraping by. I cannot afford this. The truth of poverty spoken aloud. Harsh, undeniable. Marcus has nothing to offer. No savings, no resources, nothing but labor and good intentions. Tony paces, breathing hard, hands shaking, then stops, faces Marcus. Decision made. You are fired, pack your tools, get out. The words land, expected but still painful. Tony. No, whatever you are mixed up in, I do not want it near my shop. You have until noon. Then I am changing the locks. Tony walks to the office. Door slams, leaves Marcus alone in the ruins of his employment. He stands still for 30 seconds, letting the reality settle. No job means no income. No income means no rent. No rent means homeless with a 7-year-old daughter. The spiral of poverty works fast, one disaster cascading into total collapse. But Marcus cannot think about that now, cannot afford the luxury of panic. Later, after the board meeting, after Caldwell is exposed, then he can worry about survival. For now, he has a job to finish, even if it costs everything. He packs his personal tools, leaves the shop, drives toward Sterling Automotive headquarters, toward confrontation, toward justice or ruin. Both feel equally likely. The board meeting begins at 9 a.m. sharp. Marcus arrives early, dressed in the only suit he owns, borrowed from Jackson years ago, still fits, barely. He positions himself against the wall, silent, Observant, just another staff member, furniture, invisible. Victoria enters at 9 exactly. Navy suit, hair severe, CEO armor fully deployed. She does not look at Marcus, does not acknowledge him, perfect operational security. The board members settle, 12 men in expensive suits, comfortable, confident, about to have their world shattered. Victoria begins without preamble. Gentlemen, I have discovered significant financial irregularities. $67 million transferred over 5 years from company accounts to offshore shell companies. The room erupts, gasps, denials, accusations flying. Victoria raises her hand. Silence falls. These transfers were unauthorized, hidden using sophisticated accounting methods. Someone at this table has been systematically looting Sterling Automotive. Caldwell stands, smooth, practiced, the performance beginning. Victoria, these are serious allegations. Do you have proof? I have transfer records, account numbers, shell company registrations, all pointing to executive-level authorization. That could be anyone with CFO access. It is not just anyone, Richard. The shell companies are registered in your name. The room goes silent, every eye on Caldwell, watching his reaction, the mask beginning to crack. That is impossible. Those must be forgeries. Someone is framing me. Victoria projects documents on the screen. Bank records, registration papers, Caldwell's signature, his social security number, his passport information. Evidence undeniable, damning. I am announcing a full forensic audit. Every account, every transaction, every executive will be investigated. No exceptions. Caldwell's composure shatters, sweat beating, breathing quickening, hands trembling. You are making a serious mistake. These allegations could destroy reputations, ruin lives. Good. Whoever stole $67 million deserves ruin. You do not understand the complexity of corporate finance. These transactions may have legitimate explanations. Then you will have opportunity to provide those explanations, under oath, to federal investigators. Caldwell's face reddens, anger replacing fear. This is a witch hunt. You are targeting me because I opposed your father's conservative policies, because I pushed for growth while he clung to outdated principles. My father clung to integrity. Apparently that offends you. Your father was going to destroy this company. Someone had to act. The room freezes. Everyone hears it. The admission, the confession beginning. Caldwell realizes his mistake, tries to backtrack, too late. I meant act to save the company, through legitimate business practices. But the damage is done. The board members look at him differently. Suspicion replacing trust, questions forming. Marcus records everything, his phone hidden, capturing audio, video, admissible evidence accumulating. Victoria presses forward. My father was going to the SEC the day after he died. Coincidence, Richard? Your father's accident was tragic, but accidents happen. It was not an accident. He was murdered, forced off the road by a company vehicle, and I have traffic camera footage proving it. Caldwell goes pale, completely, the color draining like blood from a wound. That is impossible. You are fabricating evidence. Traffic cameras do not fabricate. They record, and they recorded everything, including the license plate of the Escalade that killed my father. Board members murmur, shocked, horrified, watching a man implode in real time. Caldwell's hands move, reaching inside his jacket. Marcus sees the motion, recognizes it instantly. The reach for a weapon, muscle memory from combat scenarios. Marcus shifts position, Angles toward Caldwell, prepares to intercept, hands loose, ready. But Caldwell does not pull a gun, just clutches his chest, breathing hard, panic attack, the body responding to psychological collapse. He sits heavily, defeated. "The audit will proceed," Victoria announces. "Richard, you are suspended pending investigation. Security will escort you from the building." Two officers enter, corporate security. Caldwell goes with them, silent now, the fight gone, reality settling. After he leaves, the board sits stunned, processing. Their CFO just confessed in front of witnesses, their company stolen from within. Victoria adjourns the meeting. The board files out, leaving her alone with Marcus. She sags, the CEO armor cracking, exhaustion flooding through. "Is it over?" Marcus approaches, close enough to catch her if she falls. "Not yet, we exposed him, but he has not been arrested, not been charged. He can still run, still destroy evidence. We need police involved. Now." "I will call them." "Good, but Victoria, if Caldwell realizes he is facing prison, he will become desperate. Desperate people are most dangerous." "What should I do?" "Do not be alone. Vary your route home, stay in public places. I will remain close." "You are supposed to be at work." "I do not work there anymore. Got fired this morning." Victoria stares. "Because of helping me." "Because my shop got vandalized, but yes, connected." Guilt flashes across her face. "Marcus, I am so sorry. I will pay you, compensate you for." "I do not want money. I want Caldwell in prison. That is payment enough." But even as he says it, Marcus thinks about Maya, about rent due, about bills unpaid, about unemployment meaning homelessness in 3 weeks. He pushes the thoughts away. Later, always later. Survival can wait, justice cannot. Day 3 afternoon. The thread. Marcus's phone rings at 2:43 p.m. Unknown number. He answers. "Yeah." Breathing heavy, then a voice, male, calm, Richard Caldwell. "Mr. Cole, you are interfering in matters beyond your understanding." Marcus keeps walking, heading toward his Civic, phone pressed to ear. "I understand perfectly. You stole money, killed your boss, now you're trying to intimidate me. I am offering you an opportunity. Walk away. Stop helping Victoria. Forget what you think you know. I will make it worth your while. $50,000 cash today." "Not interested." $100,000 deposited in any account you name, untraceable." "Still no." Caldwell's voice hardens, drops the pretense of negotiation. "Then you leave me no choice. Your daughter Maya, 7 years old, attends Riverside Elementary, gets picked up at 3 p.m. every day." The world stops. Everything narrows to a single point, single threat, single unforgivable line crossed. Marcus's voice goes quiet, deadly, the tone that ends lives in combat. "You go near my daughter, and I will kill you." Caldwell laughs, empty, cold. "You are nobody, an unemployed mechanic. What can you possibly do?" "I am someone who keeps promises. And I promise if you threaten Maya again, you will not live to regret it." Silence, then the line goes dead. Marcus stands in the parking lot, unemployed, threatened, his daughter in danger. The equation changed completely. He dials Victoria. She answers immediately. "Caldwell just called, threatened Maya." Sharp intake of breath. "Oh God, what did he say?" "That I should walk away. When I refused, he mentioned her school, pick-up time. He has been watching her. We need to get her somewhere safe." "Already planned. I am picking her up now. But Victoria, this changes things. Caldwell has crossed into territory he does not understand. What do you mean? I mean threatening a SEAL's child is the last mistake someone makes. The weight of those words settles. Victoria, understanding that Marcus just shifted from investigator to protector to something more dangerous. Do what you need to do. I intend to. Marcus hangs up, drives faster than safe, toward Riverside Elementary, toward his daughter, toward confrontation with anyone who tries to take her. Traffic blurs, lights, streets. Nothing matters except reaching Maya before anyone else does. He arrives at 2:57 p.m., 3 minutes early, parks across from the school entrance, eyes scanning, looking for threats, black Escalades, unfamiliar vehicles, men who do not belong. Then he sees it, black Escalade, tinted windows, parked 50 yards from school entrance, engine running. 2 men inside, watching the school, waiting. Marcus exits the Civic, walks directly toward them, no hesitation, straight approach, confident, purposeful. The school bell rings, 2:57, 3 minutes early. Children pour out, Maya among them, backpack bouncing, smiling, unaware of danger. She spots Marcus, waves, starts running toward him. The Escalade's doors open, both men exit, moving toward Maya, professional, coordinated. Marcus intercepts, places himself between his daughter and the threat, human shield, immovable. Maya car now. The command voice. No argument, she runs to the Civic, gets inside, locks the doors. Good girl. Marcus turns, faces the 2 men. They stop, 10 feet away, close enough to engage, far enough for reaction time. The first man speaks, 30-something, military haircut, tactical awareness visible in his stance. Mr. Cole, no need for drama, we just want to talk. About what? About smart decisions, about understanding consequences. I understand perfectly. You work for Caldwell, he sent you here to intimidate me. It will not work. The second man shifts, hand moving toward jacket, not drawing, just positioning for quick access. Marcus sees it, recognizes the tell, prepares. Walk away, Marcus says quietly, while you still can. The first man smiles, confidence, arrogance. You are outnumbered, outgunned, 1 man against 2 professionals. Professionals would know better than to threaten children. You are amateurs pretending. Something in Marcus's stance shifts, subtle, almost imperceptible, from civilian to operator, from father to warrior. The first man's smile fades, recognition dawning. He speaks into his earpiece. Subject is trained, special operations profile, recommend abort. A pause, listening to response. Then he looks at Marcus. This is not finished. Yes, it is. Tell Caldwell if I see you again, I will not be this polite. The men return to the Escalade, drive away, leave Marcus standing in the school parking lot, heart pounding, adrenaline flooding. He walks to the Civic, opens the door, slides behind the wheel. Maya looks at him, eyes wide, scared. Daddy, who were those men? Nobody important, just people who made a mistake. What mistake? Marcus starts the engine, pulls away from the school. They thought they could scare me, they were wrong. But inside, Marcus knows the truth. Next time will not be conversation. Next time will be action, violence, the thing he has spent 3 years avoiding. But not anymore, not when Maya is the target. Some lines cannot be crossed without consequences. Caldwell just discovered that line exists, and Marcus stands on the other side, ready, willing, waiting. The war has escalated. The endgame approaches, and Richard Caldwell has no idea what kind of enemy he just created. Day 4 morning. The final confrontation. Marcus Cole adjusts his tie for the third time. The suit still does not fit perfectly. Borrowed from Jackson, too tight in the shoulders, too loose in the waist, but professional enough for corporate warfare. He stands in Victoria's private bathroom adjacent to her office, studies himself in the mirror, barely recognizes the man staring back. Navy suit, white shirt, conservative tie. The mechanic vanished. Something else emerged, something closer to the man he used to be before poverty and grief redefined him. The door opens. Victoria enters wearing armor disguised as clothing, charcoal suit, pearls, hair pulled into a severe bun, the CEO ready for the most important battle of her career. But her hands shake slightly, betraying the fear beneath the facade. "Are you ready?" she asks. Marcus checks the recording device one final time, smaller than a thumb drive, clipped to Victoria's pearl necklace, hidden in plain sight, broadcasting to his phone, to cloud storage, to lawyers standing by with subpoenas. Audio is clear, video angle is good, it will capture everything said in that room. What if he does not confess? He already confessed yesterday. Today we need him to implicate himself further, add details, names, amounts, build a case prosecutors cannot ignore. Victoria touches the necklace, the camera disguised as jewelry, her father's last chance at justice. "I am terrified." Marcus meets her eyes, holds her gaze steady, projecting the confidence he has earned through 8 years of combat. "Fear keeps you sharp. Use it, channel it into anger, let righteous fury carry you through." "What if he has a weapon?" "Then I will handle it. That is what you hired me for." She steps closer, near enough that he smells her perfume, something expensive, something that reminds him briefly of a world he never belonged to. "You became more than hired security. You became someone I trust completely." "Then trust me now, we finish this, together." She nods, rebuilds her armor, transforms back into the CEO who fires executives and announces audits without flinching. They walk together to the conference room, side by side, warrior and queen, mechanic and billionaire, two people from impossibly different worlds united against the same enemy. The conference room fills slowly, board members arriving, 12 men in expensive suits, expensive watches, the kind of wealth that forgets struggle exists. Richard Caldwell sits at the far end, attempts confidence, but his eyes are red, sleepless, the mask of corporate success cracking visibly. He sees Marcus, his expression hardens, calculations running, threats made yesterday, promises unkept, a mechanic who refused to be bought or intimidated. Marcus takes position against the wall, silent, observant, furniture, the way SEALs are trained to become invisible before violence erupts. Victoria moves to the head of the table, her father's seat, claimed by blood and 51% voting shares and absolute determination. "Gentlemen, yesterday I announced a forensic audit. Today I am presenting evidence that makes that audit urgent and unavoidable." She projects an image on the screen, traffic camera footage, time-stamped October 12, 2023, 11:47 p.m. The video plays, Robert Sterling's Mercedes driving normally, the black Escalade pursuing, the collision, the crash, the death. Board members lean forward, squinting at the screen, processing what they witness. "My father did not die in an accident. He was murdered, forced off Interstate 94 by a company vehicle. The Escalade in this footage belongs to Sterling Automotive Executive Fleet." Gasps around the table, denials, shocked protests. Caldwell remains motionless, face pale, eyes locked on the screen showing his crime replayed for witnesses. Victoria continues. The vehicle was signed out to executive pool access that night, restricted to C-suite employees. Someone at this table murdered my father. The room erupts, voices overlapping, board members looking at each other with sudden suspicion, 12 men realizing a killer sits among them. Victoria raises her hand, commands silence through sheer force of presence. I have also confirmed that $67 million was stolen from company accounts over 5 years, transferred to shell companies registered in Richard Caldwell's name. She projects financial records, bank statements, shell company registrations, Caldwell's signature appearing repeatedly, his passport information, his social security number. Evidence undeniable, damning. Caldwell stands slowly, the performance of a lifetime beginning. These documents are fabrications. Someone is attempting to frame me, destroy my reputation. These documents come from the Cayman Islands Financial Authority, verified by federal investigators. Your signatures authenticated by forensic analysts. Then my identity was stolen, used without my knowledge. For 5 years, across hundreds of transactions, that strains credibility, Richard. Caldwell's composure cracks further, sweat beading despite the air conditioning, breathing rapid, shallow. Victoria, you are grieving your father. Grief clouds judgment, makes us see conspiracies where simple accidents exist. There was no accident, there was murder, and you committed it. That is absurd. Why would I kill Robert? He was my friend, my colleague. Because he discovered your theft. Because he was taking evidence to the SEC the day after he died. Because you could not let him expose you. Caldwell slams his hand on the table, the pretense of calm shattering completely. Robert was a fool, clinging to outdated principles while competitors crushed us. Someone had to act. Someone had to make hard decisions. The room freezes. Everyone hears the admission, the justification, the confession beginning to pour out. Victoria presses forward, voice steel and ice. Hard decisions like theft, like murder. Like ensuring this company survived. Do you know what I have done for Sterling Automotive? The deals I closed, the money I generated. The money you stole, you mean? I earned that money, selling patents to buyers who valued them. Your father was too blind to see the opportunity. You sold proprietary technology to foreign competitors. I sold to the highest bidders. That is called capitalism. That is called business. Board member Donald Whitmore stands, older man, former federal prosecutor, voice carrying legal authority. Richard, you are confessing to multiple felonies in front of witnesses. I strongly suggest you stop talking. But Caldwell is beyond reason now, beyond control, the dam broken, truth flooding out. I saved this company. While Robert obsessed over integrity, I kept us profitable. And when he threatened to destroy everything with his SEC meeting, I eliminated the threat. Complete silence, the confession explicit, undeniable. Caldwell realizes too late what he has done. His hand moves toward his jacket, inside pocket. Marcus sees the motion, recognizes it instantly from thousands of hours training to identify pre-attack indicators. Marcus moves, silent, fast, closing 20 feet in under 3 seconds. Caldwell pulls a Beretta M9, 9mm, military sidearm. Swings it toward Victoria. Board members scream, dive for cover, chaos erupting. Marcus reaches Caldwell before his finger finds the trigger. Left hand traps Caldwell's wrist, redirects the weapon, points it toward the ceiling, away from anyone. Right hand strikes Caldwell's elbow, hyperextension. The joint gives. Gun falls from nerveless fingers. Sweep the legs. Caldwell crashes to the floor hard enough to knock the wind from his lungs. Marcus kneels on his back. Wrist control. Textbook restraint position learned in SEAL training and perfected through repetition. Total elapsed time, 4 seconds. Violence so quick most witnesses barely processed what happened. Caldwell struggles. Ineffective. A desk soldier attempting to fight a combat operator, like a child wrestling an adult. Stay down. Marcus's voice carries absolute authority, the command tone that ends resistance. Caldwell goes still, breathing hard, defeated. The conference room door bursts open. Detroit police, 4 officers, guns drawn, responding to silent alarm. Victoria triggered. Freeze, hands where we can see them. Marcus raises his free hand, keeps the other controlling Caldwell's wrist, professional, non-threatening. Marcus Cole, private security. This man just confessed to murder and attempted to shoot Mrs. Sterling. Multiple witnesses. He is disarmed and restrained. The lead officer approaches cautiously, assesses the situation, sees Marcus's positioning, professional restraint, not excessive force, not a threat. Release him slowly, hands visible. Marcus complies, steps back, hands open, palms forward. Officers move in, handcuff Caldwell, begin reading Miranda rights, the ritual of justice commencing. Caldwell spits as they lift him to his feet. This is not over. I have attorneys. I have connections. You will regret this. The lead officer tightens the handcuffs slightly, professional courtesy exhausted. You have the right to remain silent. I suggest you use it. They drag Caldwell away, still protesting, still threatening, still believing money can purchase escape from confession witnessed by 12 people and recorded by hidden camera. The room empties slowly, board members pale, shaken. Most have never witnessed violence outside movies. Reality is messier, more frightening, less choreographed. Marcus and Victoria remain, standing on opposite sides of the conference table where attempted murder and justice intersected. Victoria sags, the CEO armor finally cracking completely, tears flowing freely now, relief and grief and exhaustion flooding through. Marcus walks around the table, stops beside her, close enough to provide support without presuming intimacy. It is over. Is it really? Caldwell confessed in front of witnesses, attempted murder on camera. The evidence is overwhelming. He cannot escape this. But my father is still dead. Yes, but he received justice. That matters. That honors his memory. Victoria looks up at Marcus, eyes red, mascara smudged. The corporate ice completely melted, revealing the daughter who lost her father and spent 6 months hunting his killer. Thank you for everything, for believing me, for risking your safety, for losing your job, for... You do not need to keep thanking me. Yes, I do. You gave me justice when the system failed. That deserves gratitude and more. More. A job, official employment, vice president of safety and culture. Help me rebuild what my father started. Make Sterling Automotive a company that values integrity. Marcus considers, thinks about Maya, about stability, about moving beyond survival into actual living. I need to think about it, talk to Maya. She gets a vote on major life changes. Victoria smiles despite the tears. That is why you are exactly right for this job, because you understand priorities. Outside the conference room windows, Detroit spreads below. The city built on automotive innovation, destroyed by corporate greed, surviving through stubbornness of people who refuse to quit. People like Victoria Sterling, people like Marcus Cole. People who fight when fighting seems pointless, who stand when falling seems easier, who keep promises to the dead by protecting the living. The Vindication. Sterling Automotive front steps. 11:23 a.m. News vans line the street. Satellite trucks, reporters with cameras and microphones. The media swarm drawn by breaking news of a billionaire's CFO arrested for murder. Victoria stands at a podium hastily erected on the front steps, Marcus beside her, silent, present, his role completed but his presence still required. Camera flashes explode, questions shouted over each other, the chaos of journalism competing for the story. Victoria raises her hand. Silence falls gradually, reluctantly. This morning, Richard Caldwell was arrested for the murder of my father, Robert Sterling, and the theft of $67 million from Sterling Automotive. The crowd erupts. More cameras, more questions, reporters frantically typing on phones. Victoria continues once relative quiet returns. 6 months ago, my father died in what police ruled an accident. It was not. He was murdered, forced off Interstate 94, burned alive in his car. Her voice remained steady, each word measured, controlled. Today, his killer faced justice. Richard Caldwell confessed to murder in front of 12 witnesses. He is in custody. He will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Reporter shouts from the crowd, "Ms. Sterling, who is the man beside you?" All cameras pivot. Microphones extend toward Marcus. He stands uncomfortable, hating attention, but willing to endure it for Victoria's sake. This is Marcus Cole. He discovered the sabotage to my vehicle. He investigated my father's death when police would not. He is the reason Richard Caldwell is in custody today. Mr. Cole, are you a hero? The question directed at Marcus. He leans toward the microphone, brief, direct. No, I am not a hero. I am someone who stopped when others drove past, who helped when help was needed. That does not make me special. That makes me human. Anyone can choose to help. Most just choose not to. What is your background? Navy, 8 years, then automotive repair, then this. From mechanic to hero. Marcus almost smiles. From service to service, the job changes. The mission stays the same: protect people, seek justice, keep promises. More questions, more cameras, more attention. Marcus neither wants nor needs, but he endures for Victoria, for Robert Sterling, for everyone watching who needs to see that ordinary people can demand extraordinary justice. After 20 minutes, Victoria ends the conference. Thank you all. Detroit Police will provide further updates. No more questions. They walk back into the building, away from cameras, away from scrutiny, into the elevator, rising toward the executive floor in silence. When the doors close, Victoria speaks quietly. You called yourself ordinary. You are not. I am just a man who refused to look away. Ordinary men do not disarm gunmen in 4 seconds. Trained men do. Ordinary men do not sacrifice everything to help strangers. Marcus has no answer for that. The elevator reaches the executive floor. Doors open. Victoria holds the button, prevents the doors from closing. Marcus, please consider my offer, not because you need the money, but because this company needs someone who understands what my father believed. That business should serve people, not exploit them. I will talk to Maya tonight, give you an answer tomorrow. That is all I ask. They step out together. The partnership forged in crisis now transitioning to something new, something neither of them fully understands yet, but something worth exploring. 6 months later, the Robert Sterling Memorial Foundation Gala. Crystal chandeliers cast warm light across the ballroom of the Detroit Marriott Renaissance Center. 500 guests in evening wear, champagne flowing, catered hors d'oeuvres circulating, the trappings of wealth deployed for charitable purpose. Marcus stands uncomfortable in a tuxedo, rented, still feels like a costume, like playing dress-up in someone else's life, but Maya insisted he look nice for Miss Victoria's big night. Maya herself stands beside him, 7 years old, purple dress, hair in elaborate braids Victoria helped create this afternoon, excited, bouncing slightly, unable to contain her energy. "Daddy, when does Miss Victoria talk?" "Soon, baby girl, soon." Victoria takes the stage, elegant in a navy gown that probably costs more than Marcus used to make in a year, confident, transformed from the haunted woman hunting her father's killer into something stronger, something rebuilt from grief into purpose. "Thank you all for coming tonight. 6 months ago, my father was murdered. Today, his killer is awaiting trial. And tonight, we launch the Robert Sterling Memorial Foundation." Applause genuine, enthusiastic. My father believed technology should serve humanity, should solve problems rather than create them, should lift people up rather than exploit them. More applause. Victoria waits for silence. This foundation will provide STEM scholarships for underprivileged students, $10 million annually, full tuition, living expenses, mentorship, because talent exists everywhere, opportunity does not. The crowd responds positively. Wealthy people enjoy charity when it costs them nothing personally. We will also fund veterans' transition programs, helping men and women who served our country find purpose after service, because skills learned protecting America translate to building America. They just need someone willing to give them a chance. Victoria's eyes find Marcus in the crowd. Their gazes lock across the ballroom. I would not be standing here without Marcus Cole, who taught me that heroism is not about recognition. It is about action, about stopping when others pass by, about keeping promises even when keeping them costs everything. She gestures toward him. "Marcus, would you join me, please?" He hesitates, hates public attention, would rather be invisible, but Maya pushes him forward gently, grinning, encouraging. Marcus walks to the stage, uncomfortable in his tuxedo, wishing desperately to be anywhere else, but willing to endure for Victoria's sake. She takes his hand when he reaches her, public, deliberate, the gesture of partnership and something deeper. Marcus became vice president of safety and culture at Sterling Automotive 6 months ago. Since then, workplace accidents decreased 40%, employee satisfaction increased 62%, community partnerships tripled, charitable donations doubled. Applause. Marcus shifts uncomfortably. But statistics do not capture his real impact. He reminded everyone at Sterling Automotive what my father believed, that good people exist, that honor matters, that doing the right thing, even when it costs everything, is the only thing worth doing. She turns, faces him directly, ignoring the 500 people watching. "Which is why I am asking you something I should have asked months ago." Victoria produces a ring box, opens it. Diamond catches chandelier light, brilliant, sparkling. The crowd gasps collectively. Maya squeals, jumps up and down. "Marcus Cole, will you marry me?" Time stops, the ballroom fades. 500 people cease to exist. Only Victoria remains, and the question, and the life she offers. Stability, partnership, love earned through shared trauma and mutual respect. Everything he stopped believing he deserved when Keisha died. He looks at Maya, she nods frantically, gives 2 thumbs up, her vote absolutely clear. He looks at Victoria, sees past the wealth, past the power, to the woman who learned compassion through loss, who chose justice over safety, who fell in love with a mechanic and did not care about the financial gap between them. Yes, the word barely audible, but sufficient. Victoria slides the ring onto his finger, kisses him, the crowd erupts, applause, cheers, camera flashes everywhere. Maya runs onto the stage, throws herself at both of them, creates a sandwich of joy and laughter and family. Marcus holds them both, his daughter, his future wife, the life he never imagined, the future he stopped believing existed. Somewhere he feels Keisha's blessing, her approval, her voice telling him that loving again does not betray her memory, that survival means living, not just existing. The gala continues around them. Music, dancing, celebration. But Marcus only sees the 2 people in his arms, the only wealth that matters, the only future worth building. Late that night. Victoria's penthouse. The gala ended an hour ago. Maya fell asleep in the car. Marcus carried her up to the penthouse, tucked her into the guest bedroom that has slowly become her second bedroom over the past 6 months. Now he and Victoria sit on the balcony, city lights twinkling below, Detroit at night, beautiful despite its scars, resilient despite its struggles. Victoria leans against him, tired but content. The engagement ring on his finger catches light. Did I ambush you, proposing in front of 500 people? Completely, but I do not mind. I was afraid you would say no. Never, but I am curious why you proposed instead of waiting for me to ask. Victoria laughs softly. Because waiting for men to act is how nothing gets accomplished. I wanted you, so I asked, direct, honest, the way my father taught me. Your father would have approved. My father would have loved you. You remind me of him. Integrity, competence, humility, everything he valued. They sit in comfortable silence, the kind that only exists between people who trust each other completely. Finally, Marcus speaks. I need to tell you something. Okay. I am terrified. Of what? Of being a husband again, of forgetting Keisha, of not being good enough for you. Victoria sits up, takes his face in her hands, makes him look at her. Listen to me carefully. Loving me does not erase Keisha. Her photograph will stay on our refrigerator. Her memory will be honored. Maya will always know her mother. That is not negotiable. Relief floods through Marcus. Permission to love without betraying the past. And as for being good enough, Marcus, you are more than enough. You showed me what honor looks like when tested, what courage looks like when afraid, what love looks like when it costs everything. They kiss, gentle, loving, the intimacy of partners who survived hell together. Marcus's phone buzzes. He ignores it, but it buzzes again, insistent. He checks the screen. Unknown number, text message. Congratulations on your engagement, but Chemcore International does not forget unpaid debts. Richard Caldwell owed us technology worth $200 million. You cost us that delivery. We expect compensation, one way or another. This is your only warning. The message deletes itself 30 seconds after being read. Military-grade encryption. Sophisticated, threatening. Marcus's blood runs cold. The world of corporate espionage extending beyond Caldwell, beyond Sterling Automotive, to international players with resources and ruthlessness. Victoria sees his expression. What is wrong? He shows her the blank screen, where threat existed moments ago. Chemcore, the Chinese company Caldwell was selling to, they want their money or revenge. They cannot, we have security, we have. They do not care about security, or laws, or anything except profit. To them we are obstacles. Obstacles get removed. Victoria's hand moves instinctively to her stomach. Protective, maternal. What do we do? Marcus thinks, calculates, assesses threats and responses and acceptable losses, the tactical mind engaging. Same thing we did with Caldwell. We fight, we win, we protect what matters. And if we cannot win? He pulls her close, holds her and their future, thinks about Maya sleeping in the next room, about the life they are building, about promises made and promises kept. We will, because the alternative is not acceptable, never was, never will be. Outside, Detroit glitters, the city of reinvention, of comebacks, of people who refuse to quit no matter how many times they are knocked down. Marcus and Victoria stand together, reflected in the glass, family, partnership, love earned through fire and blood and justice. Behind them in the apartment, Keisha's photograph watches from the refrigerator, approving, blessing, releasing Marcus to live again instead of just surviving. The past honored, the present cherished, the future uncertain but worth fighting for. Some wars end, others begin, the battles change, the mission stays the same. Protect people who cannot protect themselves, fight for justice, keep promises, honor the dead by defending the living. Marcus Cole learned that as a SEAL, practiced it as a mechanic, perfected it as a husband and father and man who refused to look away when others drove past. The uniform changes, the mission endures always. Epilogue. 3 weeks later. Detroit Police Headquarters Conference Room. Detective Sarah Chen reviews evidence for the Caldwell prosecution, building an airtight case. Murder 1, corporate fraud, conspiracy. The trial is 6 months away, but she wants perfection. No appeals, no technicalities, life in prison without parole. Her phone rings, unknown number, she answers. Detective Chen. Silence, then a voice, male, accented Chinese. The evidence you have against Richard Caldwell is impressive, but incomplete. Who is this? Someone who can provide additional evidence, wire transfers, communications, proof of international conspiracy, everything you need to ensure conviction. Why would you help us? Because Mr. Caldwell failed to deliver what he promised. Failed partnerships have consequences. Consider this our way of ensuring he faces those consequences. Send me the evidence. It will arrive within the hour. Encrypted, untraceable, use it well, detective. The line goes dead. Detective Chen stares at her phone, confused, suspicious, but curious. 1 hour later, an encrypted file arrives. She opens it, reads, her eyes widening with each page. Communications between Caldwell and Chemcore International. Contracts, wire transfers, proof of systematic technology theft spanning 5 years and 3 continents. Everything she needs to ensure Caldwell never sees freedom again. She smiles, picks up her phone, calls the prosecutor. We just got a gift, a big one. Caldwell is finished. Outside the police station, a man in an expensive suit climbs into a black sedan. Chemcore corporate logo subtle on the door. He makes a call. Caldwell evidence delivered. The police will ensure he stays in prison. That debt is settled. A pause, listening. The sterling matter, that requires different approach. More subtle, more patient. We will recover our losses, just not yet. Let them feel safe first. Another pause. Yes, I understand. No mistakes this time. The mechanic will not see us coming. He hangs up. The sedan pulls away, disappears into Detroit traffic. The war is not over, just paused, regrouping, planning. But Richard Caldwell made a critical mistake. He underestimated a mechanic, a SEAL, a father. Chem Corps will not make the same mistake. They will watch, wait, study, learn. And when they move, it will be with overwhelming force, professional execution, no warnings. But they do not know something crucial, something their research cannot reveal, something that will cost them dearly. Marcus Cole has faced overwhelming force before, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in poverty and grief and loss. And every time he survived, adapted, overcame. Because some men are shaped by fire into something harder than steel, something that does not break, does not bend, does not stop. Marcus Cole is that kind of man, and Chem Corps is about to learn what that means. But that is a story for another time, another battle, another war. For now, Marcus has won, justice served, family protected, future secured. And sometimes, just for a moment, that is enough. The end. Text appears on screen. Richard Caldwell was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole. He is currently incarcerated at the Michigan State Penitentiary. Sterling Automotive, under Victoria Sterling's leadership, has become a model for ethical corporate governance. The Robert Sterling Memorial Foundation has provided scholarships to 847 students and supported 1,203 veterans in career transitions. Marcus Cole and Victoria Sterling were married 6 months after his proposal. They have a daughter together. Maya calls her little sister. This story is dedicated to everyone who stops when others pass by, who helps when help is needed, who keeps promises even when keeping them costs everything. You are the heroes. You are the hope. You are the reason good still exists in this world. Thank you.